environment.
Good evening. My name is Chuck Bogadine. Today I'm going to share a little bit with you about why I think changing the Constitution actually could have a negative impact on our right to bear arms. Not only that, but on our freedoms as a whole. And could jeopardize our safety. My family history traces all the way back to France and Germany. And I've done some studying on my family history and learned a lot of things about the culture. It kind of interests me, some things that, over the years went on over there. But one of the things that I see over there that is now happening here scares me. And that's the idea that America is on the verge of repeating Germany's history. Because they want stricter laws to prevent murder and suicide. Taking guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands is not going to prevent murder and suicide. Let's just say that up front. People that want to kill people will get guns because they want to kill people. Same with somebody that's suicidal. They get guns if they want to use a gun. In a study in 1978, in an article written by Gottlieb in 1982, he actually showed it shows that this governmental study had no proof that handguns, handgun ownership caused violent crimes, and that the prohibition of these guns didn't reduce violent crimes in any way. And also that it's not even enforceable, even if that were the case. Criminals are criminals, like I said, and they'll get guns. In the 2004 study, 40% of the prisoners that were released actually were able to obtain handguns from illegal sources. And then another 38% of them were able to get them through family and friends. So a criminal is going to get a gun. And then the remainder of the percentage, they got them through pawn shops and the like. And that's actually through an article by Greasy and Smith in 2016. Then another article, Menino and Lafleur, showed that gun control laws can never, and will never reduce violent crimes. So strict laws to increase gun control does not mean criminals will not get guns. And actually what it means is these stricter laws then put law-abiding citizens in jeopardy because they can't have a gun to protect themselves, but the criminal can. Then another thing that kind of concerns me, because we're headed down that road with Germany, is taking away our Second Amendment right would allow a police state, kind of like Hitler. And then in proving that, John Paul Smith, he wants to actually change the constitutional amendment in such a way that only if it was militia time could we then own a gun. And that's by an article written by Barrett in 2014. According to another article written by Fox News in 2009, in a 2-1 ruling, judges ruled against San Diego for a law that they had on the books, saying that you couldn't own a gun unless you showed a good cause. But their good cause clause was that you could not use the reason for personal protection of you or your property or your family. The judges actually ruled that was unconstitutional. And then by surrendering our rights and freedoms that so many gave their lives for and are still giving their lives for, I feel would be a slap in their face. Changing this amendment is a slippery slope, and surrendering our freedoms leads us towards a Germany-type tyrannical government. Gun control laws only serve to allow governmental control over the people. Just like in 1920 when Weimar Republic forced gun registration, and then turn around in 1933, the ultimate extremist, Adolf Hitler, took over, now had the records to take away those guns from the people, And we know how well that worked because Jews and anybody that opposed him ended up in concentration camps and then were gassed. Um, the Second Amendment, as we see here, is not only important to protect our right to bear arms, but it also allows us to protect our family and friends, our belongings, and also not only from criminals but from our government in the event that something like that would happen. Law-abiding citizens need to own guns for that protection against the common criminal or our government. In summary, gun control has its place, but not at the expense of our Second Amendment right and law-abiding citizens' right to provide safety, to protect their family. In America, our Second Amendment allows for the gun ownership, but in other countries, gun ownership is limited and completely banned, and they still have violent crimes and murder. I have given you many pieces of information that I think should persuade you to realize we need to protect our Second Amendment right. And also, the two questions I'm going to leave you with are, how far are you willing to let your government go before they control every aspect of your life? And when do we cease to be a free country?